Hey there, gamers. Another channel. So this video, I'm gonna do a video on Arc Raiders, one of my most beloved games. I had a great time with that game, and I played with my one of my best friends, Evan, and I really enjoyed that game. I got the game in the beginning when it first launched, and one of the things they did, and which I am encouraging more developers to do, they launched that game at a reasonable price, and they didn't kill you. But oh my god, when I first started playing the game in the early days, that game was the bomb. The social element of the game was the dynamite that made that game so popular. And then and let's get to this point. What made the game so great as because I'm more of a PvE player, but I did enjoy the element of the PvP. That there was a threat that someone could be a rat and kill you, but unfortunately, as the game went along, the game got overwhelmed by the PvE players and the rats, and it killed the generosity of what the game was in the beginning. But let's talk about what the game was so fun in the beginning. Because in the beginning, when you first started playing this game, when it was so great in its early days, and it had the higher player count, it was so exciting. And I met so many good people from around the world and from the south, from the north. It was an enjoyable game, and to have the proximity chat on the game, that was dynamite. And it was a big social experiment that Embark did, and they didn't know the dynamite that they were setting when they made that game. But unfortunately, they let it slide, and I think it was, I was looking. Let me see. I'm looking on Steam right now. It was showing on Steam right now that currently the peak players are 18,000 with a high of 41,000, and they're ranked 73 for player count. But I guess no games can stay on the top of his grace forever. But oh my god, I probably put. Let me check right here. See how many hours did I put into this game. Let me look. So on this game, games. So on my game list, Arc Raiders, I put 156 hours into this game before I lost interest, and how the rats killed it. But if you follow me, if anybody who knows me that I don't have a very long attention span, and for a game to hold that much attention for me, that's amazing. And it was one of the best games I played in a very long time. And well, in my old school days, I used to play 20, 30 years ago. Was it back in 2005 when I was in college? I used to play a lot of the original of Counter Strike. And I played so much of that game that it started hurting my wrist, and maybe started giving me a little bit of carpal tunneling. And I had to learn how to play with my left hand, so I became a little ambidextrous, and so I played a little right hand and left handed, and I learned both. But eventually, both my wrists started to give me a lot of pain, so I couldn't play those games dedicated like they played those days. And then 20 years fast forward, as a much older Gen X player, Arc Raiders was a game that allowed my generation to have slow reflexes and play a game and be enjoyable. And I think it catered to those people who just wanted a casual gameplay and just wanted to go and loot. But the thing that made it really fun at first was the threat of a little rat player, those little crap people who, it was a lot of fun. But the problem is, as the game started going on, the rat players became more predominant, and you'd find all this great loot, and it was great when you found it. But you never want to use the great loot, and because the rat players might kill you for it, and all that progress might be lost, and you might have to go farm for a day or two to build up all that weapon, and only be playing the game. And then once you got the great loot, it seemed like the algorithm knew that if you had the great equipment, that they put you in more of the rat players, and you had a higher chance of losing it. One of the things I noticed in the game that pissed me off is if you put on the shields that were more advanced, it seemed like there was a higher chance that you were going to come across rat players because you had a higher shield. And so it was crappy because you wanted a higher shield to protect yourself because you wanted to be PvE, and then you get rat fucked. And the game just started screwing the fans who wanted to enjoy the PvE and wanted to do the looting and find all the cool loot and find the blueprints. And then little by little, it just got screwy. And now if you go to the higher maps and you want to find the good loot, you have to play against the people or just crappy people. And I really don't like the crappy people on Arc Raiders, because it seems like the crappy people are really low life people, because they can't kill the people on Counter Strike. They're not good quality players that can take on man to man action. So they got to go after the PvE players, the fat cows in the game that are easy to kill, and get to a little kid satisfaction killing easy PvE players that were looking for just simple action. And it brought really crappy players along, in my opinion, and it really ruined the game, unfortunately. And Embark did not embrace their PvE players, and I think that's why you're seeing the player count dwindle so bad. And it's so sad, because I actually really love that game a great deal, and I just wish they had fixed the whole rap players. I haven't actually experienced the AI cheating, not the AI cheating, but the cheating. But I hear there's a lot of that now, and the replication. But I just wish they would have done more with the PVE and making the arc more powerful and making the arc more dangerous than having to be worried about someone shooting in the back and stealing your loot and getting the satisfaction. And it really wrecked the game, that style of playing, because I don't know. I wish Embark would have pivoted a little bit better and took care of the people who were really making the game, because in the early days, all the friends I met, all the people I met, it was so wonderful. That was amazing. I really enjoyed the game. I played with my one of my best friends, Evan, and we had some experiences. Even when we were playing together, I'd go on the solo missions, and I would meet a lot of quality people around the world, and it actually was really nice, because it made you feel like there's actually decent people out there who want to help you and coach you and teach you how to play the game, and show you where all the great loot is and walk you through it, and be, oh, it was so much fun. And I just don't understand why Embark didn't embrace what was going on with the culture, and they really screwed up and didn't take advantage. They really screwed up and didn't take advantage of what they had going, and I think they screwed a good opportunity to embrace the people who were really engaged with this game. But I have to give kudos to Embark. They launched the game at a fair price of $40. I mean, so many AA games are charging so much money, and they made their money. And so I'm not bitter about this whole situation, because I paid $40 for the game. I got 160 hours, and you died $40 between 160 hours of gameplay. I got my money worth, and it was enjoyable. And I rarely play now, but I think they could have kept this Gravy Train going on a lot longer if they just would have embraced the PvE players. And it was one of my most favorite games for a while, and it's just disappointing that they didn't take advantage of what they had going, and they let this go to crap. It's disappointing. I wish I saw some videos on YouTube. I think it was on the Chinese servers, that they had some kind of PvE situation where your little red thing would be glowing if you were a PvP player, and they're a little slow catching on that most of the players want to play PvE. They just want to have a higher threat of the arc level. They don't want to be stabbed in the back by another arc raider running the loot, and just destroyed the whole game. It was such a wonderful game, and it's just so sad that it was lost to the cheaters and the rat players. Oh, but one of the things I did like about Arc Raiders, I'm contradicting myself. I did love the threat of the PvP players when it was completely random, but at the same time, it screwed the game in the end. Because you go on these missions and you go search for all these blueprints, and then now you're scared to play with the best equipment, because you'll get robbed. So you never play with the best equipment, and so now you're playing with the basic equipment, and so there's no point in actually going and playing with the best equipment, because you could lose it at any moment because of a rat player, because someone's going to steal it from you, and then if you don't have the blueprints, it was all a waste of time, and you don't get to keep it. Like I had I forget what it's called, someone gifted me the hook that you can shoot and go off anywhere you want to go. But you know what? I've had it for like 3 or 4 months, but I've always been scared of carrying the game, because someone could kill me and I'll lose it, and I don't know how to get it again. and so I never use it. So what's the point of having all this great gear that you eventually find because you're scared to lose it, and it's going to take too much resources to get it back again? And if you're lucky to find it, they don't get this whole freaking game. Like, why have the what's the point of progression if your strongest weapon can be destroyed, can be taken out by someone with a common weapon, and usually the first person that shoots first wins, no matter what weapon you have, and then you get totally screwed. The balancing just really sucks, and they didn't take any of this for granted, and they've ruined what a really great game this could have been. And there's no advantage to getting the great gear, because if you get the great gear, upkeep and maintenance of it causes you to farm, and if you lose it, the amount of time it takes to get it back and craft it, and the materials you need to craft it, you have to sit there and farm the resources, and they can be lost in 30 minutes. And what a waste! That's not fun. The joy's been taken away from you. I just don't understand why Embark doesn't understand their shortcomings and how they just wasted a gift that was given to them. I'm happy for their success, but they just wasted their time and not taking advantage of what a great opportunity they had, and this game could have kept on going for a long time. Maybe they'll fix it, but maybe they'll get the player count. Maybe this is just the evolution of live action games, but this is the first live action game I actually played because I'm not into microtransactions. Well, this game didn't really have any microtransactions, but they just ruined a great situation, and they didn't realize what the gold they struck, and they reacted really slowly to a great opportunity for a great game, and they didn't cater to the fan base that was really there, and they let the rat players take over and destroy the game, and they chased out all the PvE players, and now it's just a empty shell by itself, and now the game is just not enjoyable as it used to be, and I rarely play it now, and I'm just going to have the great memories I had with all the people who I met, and I hope that somehow they can turn around, but I'm doubtful because the player count's down, and I think their window of opportunity, the redeeming themselves is over now, and it's too disappointing. Oh, I can't believe a company that struck that kind of gold would not see what gold they struck and let it just dwindle like that. But shoot, the memories I had with the people I met, and who's that one player? This is one player I like to find on YouTube, Coochie or Grouchy or who his name is. Oh, but he's a rap player, but I shouldn't be admitting I like a rap player, but I like his little sense of humor. But I'm really disappointed the game went this way, and I'm hoping that somehow they're going to be able to fix it, but I have zero doubts. One of the games that I kind of moved on to is I've been playing a lot more of a game I missed when it was good. I've been moving on to Baldur's Gate. I play with my good friend Evan, and we've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. I'm not sure how many hours. I'm probably about 100 hours into that. And that's one of the few games I would recommend people to pay full price for because that game's worth it. That if you're an RPG fan, that reminds me of the games I played with my Apple IIc back in the 80s with Imagination, but they brought the cosmetics to the Imagination, and what a great game. So if you're looking for a good RPG, give Baldur's Gate a try. And with the new game I'm starting to get into now, and I didn't think I'd have any interest in it, was Pal World. That game seemed too kiddish for me. I never played any of the Pokemon games because it seemed like kid-like. But Pal World, they were offering it me for $18 because it was tied into a game I already bought, and I gave it a try. It's really pretty enjoyable, and it brings a lot of elements out. So there's a lot of great games out there, and I'm glad to see the smaller indie teams getting more strength, and I'm really happy to see how the game is changing with these smaller developer teams, and I'm hoping that things are only going to get better with the small developer teams, and good times are only to come. All right, everybody have a good day. Quick channel, but just wanted to give a little feedback on my thoughts about Arc Raiders, and if you play Arc Raiders, give a little feedback and tell me what you think, and have a good day. Take care. Bye.